All right, so I'm just doing a quick video here to talk about a few things that are going on regarding Trump and what's happening in Syria. Now, I did a big podcast, and it wasn't even a big podcast, it was only an hour long, here on Free Radio Revolution, not last night, but the night before, really late. And I talked about, in particular, Paul Joseph Watson, who now has said he is off the Trump train. And I said that there's no way that Paul Joseph Watson can ever get off the Trump train. Ever. Whatever Trump is responsible in the future, people like Alex Jones, Paul Joseph Watson, Shark Lice, all the others that worked tirelessly to get him elected, the entire alternative media for the most part, who said that he was the savior and he could do no wrong and that he was going to drain the swamp and he was going to make America great again. Now, all of a sudden, they're floundering about trying to make every excuse that you could imagine for Trump. That it's his son-in-law and somehow he's been manipulated towards the deep state. Have you heard about that one? The deep state. They love that. They whip that fucking thing up. So this particular podcast that I did was it was shilled to high heaven. First and foremost, the chat was just bonkers. And then when I went back and checked it, the audio kept clipping throughout the whole thing. So I was getting censored, most likely. And often when I was talking about Zionism, in particular Israel, involvement in Syria, and what the bigger picture about all of that was. And you can go and listen to it and hear it yourself and see how difficult it was to do this particular podcast. So when you are a little bit too close to the truth, that's when the heat comes down. So I just want to talk about this. I'm not here to criticize Luke. I'm not really sure. I didn't follow him with Trump, so he did call out Alex Jones and a few others in this video, saying, that they're trying to play four-dimensional chess or whatever and make all these excuses. But these characters here, like this turd here, this Zionist shill, Mike Cernovich, who's being, they're feeding him all this information to set him up as one of these go-to sources like Paul Josephine Watson and others. That's what they're doing. They're setting up their sources that they want people to get their information from. They're shells, essentially. So there's a comment here that pretty much nails it here. So Slippy Bits here left a comment, and I just wanted to read this out to folks about the Trump excuses. Number one, someone got to him and forced him to attack Syria. Number two, he must be listening to bad advisors. This is what you'll hear on the Info Warriors, right? Nasty people tricked him. Number four, he's so clever. This must be part of a brilliant plan, right? He's playing four-dimensional chess. He's an absolute brilliant person. He's sending a message to China or Russia, showing that he won't back down. Then you get, of course, this is somehow Obama's fault. Of course, you've got that whole thing dealing with Susan Rice and the NSA and Obama allegedly spying on Zionists within the Trump administration and within the Republican Party. Hillary would have been worse. For me, it's Coke or Pepsi. Okay, so Trump sold out. And then 8, I'm so disappointed that Trump has changed. And then finally, no, he didn't change or get tricked or sell out. He was this from the beginning. Some of us saw it. If you didn't, then maybe you should stop making excuses and you should just admit that you got duped. I tried to warn folks. I said Donald Trump is a New World Order president. He works for Israel. There wasn't too many others in the alternative media that took a stance like that, because you know what it got us? It got us nothing. I mean, people unsubscribed because I called out their folk hero, Trump, and called him out for the phony Zionist president that he was. I said he could possibly be the most dangerous president in American history because of how closely aligned he is with Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, his son and his daughter being Israeli citizens. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So there are no excuses that you can come up with. So these outlets here, like this one, they're done. The secrets behind Trump's Syria strike. Look at this fat tub of goo trying to come up with every excuse in the book, right? And they have been bending over backwards trying to come up with excuses for why Trump has done what his Zionist controllers want him to do. And that's exactly what's going on. So these characters here, like this Paul Josephine Twatson, another character, the same thing. Pedophiles rule the world, of course. The truth about Trump's airstrike on Syria. Who else does that? Stefan Molyneux does that all the time. All of these characters. That's all. You just got to think about it. Who the fuck are these people? What is their mission? They're working for Israel, folks. They're Zionist. That's the truth. So they can never detach themselves from Donald Trump. Paul Josephine Twatson will be forever attached to the hip to Trump, forevermore. Mark Dice, so many of the other ones that are involved who said Trump can do no wrong, that Trump was the savior, that he was going to save the United States. You know, will people wake up and stop supporting these people, stop paying these frauds, stop supporting them financially? Probably not. Because people are dumb. That's a fact.